unless you are poor, you don't value money. Unless you are hungry, you don't value food. A lot of times, kids these days might get everything served on a platter, so they don't realize. But is there something that, hey, when you were growing up, maybe you didn't have, but you have worked really hard to provide that for your kids?
I come from a very typically South Indian middle class family wherein females are not supposed to ask questions. For me, it was I've been deprived. So whenever she used to make fish or anything, only my dad and my brother used to get. I was deprived. You know how the earlier parenthood used to be. Uh, तवा है या चट्टी है, we call it चट्टी, चाकू, जो हाथ में आया उससे मिलना. Married, I was 18 years old. So I married when I was 12.
Very young, yes.
My studies itself, it's a journey with from a background where education was never an important. I started my journey as a typist, not even an EA. So within 2 or 3 months time, he shifted my designation from a secretary to an EA. किसी को ज्ञान देना और फिर पैसा लेना was not something which I wanted. And no one in my life has financially taken care of me. So until I die, I want to still remain financially independent. I have done anything and everything to ensure I, as a child, what I suffered, my kids are not supposed to suffer.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for once again tuning in to the Coachee Diaries podcast. My name is Mareda Shetty. I'm your host. And today I have to admit this one fact that I have spoken to a lot of HRs across industries, whether it is my clients or otherwise. And what I've actually observed, the more people start going up higher the ranks, they tend not to be very kind. But today's guest is someone who's been very kind, very approachable, and also someone who is such a humble soul. So it gives me immense pleasure today to welcome on a podcast a very special guest. Her name is Sheena. Sheena Rajan is the founder CEO SR Global HR Solutions. She is also a co-founder of Flamingo Infinite. So having said that, let's all welcome her together. Sheena, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Maridas, and everyone who has tuned in. It's afternoon here in Dubai, so I might as well say afternoon. I know it's evening in India.
Yes.
I am Sheena Rajan, the founder and CEO of SR Global Solutions, as Maridas said, and I'm also a co-founder of Flamingo Infinite. Maridas, I'm today so excited to be on the side of the mic because we HRs are the ones who are always asking questions. The typical question that comes in is like, tell me about yourself. Now today I will get to share my own journey. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope it resonates and maybe even inspires you in your path.
Yes, for sure. And I know for a fact that one thing after this, anyone who's watching this episode, one thing that they are going to be feeling is a lot of pride in your journey. They'll take a lot of inspiration from the struggles that you had and how you overcame. So here's, once we get started, here's a simple question to get started. You are a founder, you are a CEO, you are also a co-founder. And even if I look at your journey, which started a couple of decades ago, you started at an executive assistant, right? Ranking from, rising from those ranks, you have finally achieved this milestone. Here, now that you are at this level, do you reflect back on your journey, and is there any advice you could have given your younger self maybe 15 years ago?
Okay, so just to begin, Maridas, I started my journey as a typist, not even an EA. So it was a typist. Then I moved on to become a receptionist. From a receptionist, I had joined airlines. I had done admin job in airlines. So every time when I have started working somewhere, I always felt that I needed to enhance myself, upgrade myself. It's never enough for me. How do I reach to the next level? So kept educating myself. So from when I got married, I was 18 years old. So I married when I was 12.
Very young, yes.
My studies itself, it's a journey with
Hmm.
from a background where education was never an importance, and
Hmm.
I had to go against every will, and I had my own way of own responsibility. I had a bedridden father-in-law, I had my in-laws, I had my husband, I had my small child. Because by when I got married in February. By December, my son was born. So
Hmm.
by the age of even completing 18, so
Hmm.
I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter-in-law. So the responsibilities were still there.
Hmm.
And the journey of how I completed my studies, I think it's a motivation. So when people come to me and they address me in the interviews and they ask me, when I ask them, why didn't you complete your studies?
Hmm.
But ma'am, now I have this responsibility. So once I finish with this responsibility, I will think about doing an education in it. But now I cannot do.
Hmm.
I would say learn this from my journey is there is never an impossible thing if you have it in your mind. If
Hmm.
your mind is there, you can do anything. And we human beings have a very strong mind. We actually can move mountains if we think so. And it's nothing
Hmm.
to do with your physical strength. It's your mental capability.
Very true.
And एक कहावत है ना, मजबूरी हमको सब कुछ सिखाती है.
Hmm.
So it's like your problems is a mother of inventions.
Hmm.
You have the moment you have problems, and when you don't have options, you are there. You can do a lot of things. I started my journey from a career point. I started as a typist.
Hmm.
Then I enhanced myself. I did my Diaries course and I became a secretary. So when
Okay.
I was a secretary, I joined airlines. When I seen in the airlines, I felt I need to do my IATA. So I
Hmm.
did my IATA course. And when I did my IATA course, and then I moved to become a secretary to the managing director after completing my secretarial course and IATA course. That was the journey where I learned that understanding people was important, because I joined in as a secretary to the MD.
Hmm.
And every time I always felt I need to be very conscious about my behavior,
Hmm.
how I speak to people, and how it affects them. So
So,
knowing them was important. So I did my post graduation in psychological counseling. So I giving you the reasons why I kept studying.
hmm.
So connecting with people, then it became like I became a Gyan Guru for all my friends. I became a Gyan Guru for all the relations people who were in relation problems. तो एक जर्नी था मेरे दस, बहुत मजा भी आया. फिर I didn't take it as a profession is because
Hmm.
it was affecting my personal life.
Hmm.
And किसी को ज्ञान देना और फिर पैसा लेना was not something which I wanted.
Hmm.
Somehow it was not getting into my DNA. कि you are helping people, don't monetize it. So I just did
True.
psychological counseling only with an intention that I give right advices, not advices because I feel it is right. So that was important. इसलिए मैंने वो पढ़ाई किया. Then I finished my post graduation in psychological counseling. When I joined Shell,
Hmm.
Pennzoil.
And this is
So
before you got
typically I
married, is
joined
it?
them.
No, this is
I was married when I was
you were already
this
married.
is all the journey of married. And see, my marriage survived for 22 years.
Hmm.
So when I moved into Shell, and Satishan was my HR head, the KG Satishan.
Hmm.
So he saw the HR in me. So
Hmm.
I had a procedure who was doing the same type of job for 9 years.
Hmm.
I came in, I also had the same job. I had to SLC secretary. Even my MD was super, super happy with me. I was like, you're not a secretary, you are an EA material. So
Hmm.
within 2 or 3 months time, he shifted my designation from a secretary to an EA. Because I was a self-starter. I didn't wanted him to dictate anything to me.
Hmm.
I started understanding his problem. And on his behalf, I used to take action. His mails, I used to keep replying. I started giving him a lot of advice. So secretary to EA का एक transition हुआ. But then the HR head, he typically used to do the same job to the earlier procedure also, like typing
Hmm.
letters. He didn't have an assistant, so I was assisting him also. But then I always have the hunger to do more.
Hmm.
never satisfied with typically doing transactional work, whether it is secretarial or whether it is any other job. But then I don't give results. Still I don't get value into the company. I still feel incomplete. So I used to go ahead and do a lot of things when Satishan told me. I remember I used to go and advise him. Sir, ye karo. Why don't you make a tracker sheet? It'll help you because we are only two people. There's no other HR in it. So it'll help both of us. And whenever he gave me a job, he used to be super impressed with the quality and the the turnaround time that I used to take. And he said, he has mentioned that in LinkedIn also. She's one person who doesn't require follow up. When I once given, I would stick to it. I will not do any follow up is not required. A is asked, A plus B plus C करके दे दूंगी. So then he started giving me.
Sorry to interrupt. This quality that you had of being a self starter and taking ownership, understanding also that hey, you know what? Now that I'm taking care of certain aspect of the work with the managing director, you had that sort of rapport that for this scenario, this is what he's ideally going to do. So you had that. Is it something that you had that sort of curiosity or observation skill when you were a kid also?
When I was a kid, now, good point that you touch with. I remember if I used to be curious, I used to get beatings.
Oh.
So I come from a very typically South Indian middle class family wherein females are not supposed to ask questions. My mom comes from that mindset where females are not supposed to ask questions. And I know being beaten up for asking questions. मेरा ना दिमाग में ऐसा रहता था कि हाँ मम्मा ये क्यों हो रहा है मम्मा वो क्यों हो रहा है and then the fear of being curious that settled down. So I would say I'm not curious, but I'm very dedicated. And I'm very responsible to whatever I say. जैसा लगता है कि curiosity, I will not ask too many questions. I feel the person will feel bothered, person will feel irritated. Now if small is given, I do my own research. Probably I would have saved some time of doing the research, but then I felt the research would help me identify more than what is required.
Right.
And the person who has given me the job is also so comfortable giving me, so she doesn't ask multiple questions. She doesn't and given one word and she understands the entire geography of it, and I keep doing it. Works for me, works not for me, but there are times when I kept asking, why am I not curious? So if I go back and understand why I'm not curious like the others.
Because this incident, yeah.
Yes. So it's a childhood thing that mother had always stopped me. जितना बोलता है मम्मी का डायलॉग था जितना बोलता है उतना ही करो. Don't ask too many questions.
It was a very orthodox sort of family. Like patriarchal
typically
system.
After I think our age, so typically our type of age, you are too young. When we were kids, we were like coming from that thought process. We just followed what elders are supposed to say. They're not supposed to question them.
Not to question.
That is bad manners. So that's a bad manners according to my mom. I know bad manners. When if mommy gets irritated, I'm sure the others also will get irritated. So to an extent, even I get irritated when somebody asks questions. And I said, no, settle down, Sheena. Settle down, Sheena. No. So a lot of self-talk happens. I improvise myself a lot periodically.
No, one thing that I'm getting from this entire conversation so far, at every stage of life, you understood, hey, you know what? What can I do to upskill myself? What can I do to get better?
Never stop. I've never stopped. In fact, today also, the moment I learned that there's AI is going to take over and a lot of things, I immediately went and did some 5 days course. I went to Bangalore. I did a 5 days course just to get myself dated and upgraded. Because I've been financially independent from the age of 17. And no man has ever helped me, and no one in my life has financially taken care of me. So until I die, I want to still remain financially independent. So if I have to be financially independent, I'm not the one who has got so much of jaidad or my ancestral money. If you never retire is my funda. So if I don't want to retire, I better be with the market. I better go with the phase of what is happening around.
No, this is very true, and I'm very happy because, uh, in fact, when we started the podcast, and I'll give you a little brief, and maybe through you to the viewers also, the entire reason we started Coachee Diary is to understand some of the lessons from life of the guest, but most importantly, leading a better life. Now, I have been working for almost a decade for one of the BPOs in India. I remember if I had to go back in time and give some sort of advice to my younger self, which was just fresh out of college, there were so many things. In that flow, I kept doing things, got into companies. By God's grace, I have had good friends, but I also saw a lot of people who fell into bad company. And life just kept happening to them. No ambition, uh, no hunger, as you rightly said, no hunger, don't want to upskill, just going with the flow. And now it makes me realize that, hey, you know what, if there's at least a couple of people who can listen to the podcast, get inspired from the journeys, and possibly aspire to be a better version of themselves, it would be amazing. This entire podcast series is aimed at people working professional between the age group of 25 to say 40, in that age group, because I realize that's a time when people actually start questioning their life choices, their career choices, whether they want to marry, settle down, whether they want to start a family, what they should be doing. Should they just quit their job, take a vacation, start their own venture? A lot of this question comes onto the mind. So maybe through you, a lot of people who are watching, especially women, they should get inspired that, hey, you know what, if Sheena has done this, maybe it is time for us also to possibly look at it. So what I'm at least hearing from your story is, despite everything that happened to you, you're not blaming anyone. You're not blaming your parents. You're not blaming things around you. You are like, hey, you know, this is what happened, and my response is this. Would you like to just tell us, if you're comfortable, how was growing up? Where did you grow up? Uh, things when you were a child. Uh, is there a fond memory of you from schooling days? Anything?
Uh, just to bring one more point in terms of education, why if somebody who's wanting a little bit of motivation at my age, when I'm still wanting to study, it's because when you go into a classroom, Aridas, you become a child.
Very true.
Of irrespective of your age, even if you are 65 or you're 70 or even you're 80, the moment you are a student, your entire thing changes. And you become a child, you become zero ego. You have to it's like completely a plain slate. That's one of the biggest motivation for me. I want to be a child all my life. I want to be young all my life. And the best way to be young is be among people who are young. So in classroom, majority of the time there are young people. You learn from them. They teach you more than what school can teach you or books can teach you.
True.
Because they keep challenging all your thought process. Enjoy the childhood. Keep the child active in you, and studying is one of the best way to keep the child in you. So I'll give you one more example of I had done masters in leadership science from Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. So I call him my spiritual guru. Radhakrishnan, in that course, we had people from the age of 21 till the age of 65.
Wow.
Look at the dynamics. And I was in mid at that time. I think I was in my 40s only. So you get to learn from an experience and you get to learn from curiosity, because 21-year-old people are always very curious.
Very curious.
And they will challenge all our thought processes.
Hmm.
They will, the questions that they used to put across to our gurus, we would have not even thought.
Hmm.
Experienced people also come and they don't challenge the thought, but they give a different perspective.
Hmm.
And they have so much of questions to ask to the teacher that their question answers a lot of our answers also.
Right.
They
Right.
It's great learning to be in a classroom. You learn much more than what you'll never learn in your book.
Hmm.
And coming back to your question, what was your question? Please repeat. I am growing old.
Yeah. A little bit about it, in a childhood. Was there any very fond memory? Even if you
Found
are okay to
memory.
share with us, where did you grow? Where were you born? Where did you
Hmm.
grow? Because I understand that once you got married, obviously you might have shifted places. But where did you grow? How was
Hmm.
schooling? No?
Okay. So I had been in one place for almost 40 years.
Wow.
So I married somebody who was my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
I, so a living place was not something. Fully born in
Hmm.
Kerala.
Hmm.
I am a Mallu
Hmm.
by genetics. Uh, but it was just a birth over there. I'm born and I'm brought up. My studies, my education, everything has been in Mumbai.
Hmm.
So I'm a hardcore Mumbaiker
Hmm.
by heart. Then I keep telling this thing to everybody.
Hmm.
People can remove me out of Mumbai, but cannot remove Mumbai out of me. Wherever I go, the warmth is very, very visible. And I think that Mumbaikar has a typical characteristic. The moment you speak, you'll know, "Arey, ye to Mumbai wali hai." So like when you go to Dubai or any place in UAE, especially GCC, it's more about being a Mallu. Malayali, no. So they can recognize a Malayali very quickly. Similarly is a Mumbaikar. They ask me, "Are you from Mumbai?" So that warmth and that bubbliness and that giving nature, I think we all Mumbaikars have it. And let me exaggerate it. Maybe I'm exaggerating it a bit, but happy to exaggerate because I love Mumbai even in its chaos. However cluttered, however, how much complaints you have, but I feel at home when I'm in Mumbai. So I was born and brought up in Mumbai, did all my education in Mumbai. My mummy being very, very strict. I call her a Hitler. So we are siblings. I'm the youngest one. So I have an elder brother. I have an elder sister. So my mom used to always keep telling every time, "You're an unwanted child. I didn't wanted you, but I don't know why you were born." I was very, very mischievous. I have troubled her so much. Even my brother or my sister never used to trouble her. I have troubled her a lot. And I'm the only one who must have been got the maximum beating from my mom. My mommy का एक target होता है ना, I was a soft target. That पे गुस्सा I used to get. Sometimes I'm just going across mommy and I get a pace. I wonder why am I being God beaten now? So whether it is my sister, whether it's my brother, whether it's my dad, my mommy's soft target was me. And the creative way I have got beating, uh, I used to tell my mummy, if कोई movies में रहता है ना बड़ा बड़ा weapon I have got beaten from all different creative ways. कभी रोज का वो stamp लेके with the sponge she will hit me so that I get it. गरम गरम तवा मिला है. You know how the earlier parenthood used to be. Uh, तवा है या चट्टी है, we call it चट्टी. चट्टी, चाकू, जो हाथ में आए उससे मिलना. Mummy used to go every Wednesday to Mahim
Hmm.
and she used to get a cane.
Hmm.
And that cane, I'm the only person who has got beaten. And by the time it is next Wednesday, the cane is broken into pieces because that's the way I used to get discipline from
Ouch.
him.
No, I used to get. I have got pastings when I was a kid in my tuitions with that cane. It used to hurt a lot. But after a
Yeah.
certain time, you just become immune to it. It's like, okay, like, yeah, okay. You get stronger, I think. What can't kill you makes you stronger.
See, my problem is, you know what? The
Hmm.
moment my mummy used to take cane and blame it to me, how
Hmm.
the way I react. she may be not intending also to beat me.
Hmm.
I'll start screaming, are you? She used to get more irritated on me. So
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
even if I have to get one, I'll get 10.
I think
And I
we have
run
all been
around.
been there, done that. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I used
I
to
have
do that.
troubled her a lot. I would really want to take this platform. If ever she hears me, I have to tell her, "Ki, Mama, I'm really sorry. I'm the only one who has troubled you so much." I made her run. And my mom was on the obese side.
Hmm. Hmm.
So making Mama run around also was a fun game. I
Hmm.
used to go inside the bed. I used to go in the terrace, run around. Mm.
Quite
I
interesting.
remember once my doctor had come in and I fear injections. Okay?
Hmm.
That's one of the memory which I will never forget and very hilarious. Whenever I remember the scene, I still smile at it. And the doctor was huge,
Hmm.
huge in the sense that he was now he's quite thin. Now if you look at him, you will have actually since he's reduced from he probably would have been 120 kgs, and uh, and he was more on the downside. So
Hmm.
he came and I wasn't sleeping well, so he came with an injection. He wanted to
Hmm.
injection like that. The moment I saw injection, I got up from the bed, I screamed and I ran. So I ran and I went inside the bed.
It's nice. Okay, interesting. You're hiding under the bed.
So when I went inside the bed, he came down and he got stuck. He couldn't come out. Because
Yeah, I can just imagine. Interesting.
he
In-
said that this girl, I will never give injections. He gave me few medicines and he went. And every time when he goes now, I go to him, injection nahi dega baba isko main.
No, these are some of those also memories
Really
that are
innocent,
to
yeah.
cherish, to cherish. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, uh, I can imagine. I mean, I used to also be had something about injection. I could eat a lot of medicines, but getting injection used to be having that sort of fear. I think I still have that. I don't like injections. Quite interesting.
When I had still fear injections after giving birth to three, I still fear injections
Hmm.
and I avoid medicines. In fact, I
Hmm.
don't go to. I'm not a great what do you say? Great customer for doctors.
Hmm. Which is
So
very good. I'm very happy that you are taking good care of health and things like that. Yeah, interesting question.
naturopathic.
Given that we have a little time here, interesting question. Uh, if you had to just specifically say, hey, you know what? When I was growing up as a child, this is what I had to go through. But my children, this is one thing that they are getting much better. Maybe, and I'm not sure, but I see a lot of kids these days. Sometimes they don't realize because they are getting everything. Like if
Mm.
I always say, unless you are poor, you don't value money. Unless you are hungry, you don't value food. A lot of times, kids these days might get everything served on a platter, so they don't realize. But is there something that, hey, when you were growing up, maybe you didn't have, but you have worked really hard to provide that for your kids?
Okay, so I got married, Maridas, at the age of 18.
Hmm.
Okay, so before I'll not blame my parents because they gave us the best.
Hmm.
So there was a generation which was always there. Our parents started working at the age of 9, 10.
Hmm.
And even if they were laborers, or my dad was a driver, okay?
Hmm.
And my dad actually has come to India or come to Mumbai at the
Hmm.
age of 13. So at my dad's age, you'll always have these stories where they will
Right.
say कि नदी पार करके गया बुक मेरे को पढ़ने के लिए मैं वहां से
Street lamp के नीचे. Yeah, we
हाँ
used to
स्ट्रीट
study
लाइन
street
के
lamp के
नीचे
नीचे.
तो लेकिन
Yeah.
मेरा स्टोरी है जहाँ मैं आई विल टेल यू हाउ आई स्टडीड इट्स आल्सो समवॉट इन अ सिमिलर लाइन but not in within the street light. I used to sit and study in the bathroom.
Hmm.
because everybody was against my studies, and
Hmm.
my husband, and nobody knew that I had enrolled for my graduation. So after
There has to be a
that, I
movie
used to get
made
up.
on your life, right? For sure.
There's a book coming. There's a book
Yeah.
coming, and
Oh,
there's an
this.
author who is very keen to write my book. So she's writing a book on me. So probably it's more or it should come in by this year end.
What's
So
its title?
uh, she's still figuring out the title because every time she starts writing, there is a change in my journey. There's a change in my life. So she kept on changing the topic.
Quite.
Earlier, she was supposed to
Hmm.
on my career line. Then she started writing on my choices.
Hmm.
Uh, so topic is still not finalized, and she finds me very complex, but very determined lady.
Hmm.
So coming back to where were we? Where did I stop?
Oh, we're talking about something that you possibly would have given to your kids, which you didn't have, but you have worked
Yeah.
to
So,
provide to your kids.
so my parents have always, yeah. My mom has never allowed us to enter the kitchen because for her, education was the priority.
Hmm.
So you don't have to enter a kitchen. You don't have to do work. Only sit and study. Basics were taken care of. But being a female and my mother coming from a different background
Hmm.
in terms of her thought process,
Hmm.
she, typically ladies are supposed to tolerate things.
Hmm.
Ladies are supposed to sacrifice a lot of things. So we are, as a girl child, I was very fond of eating fish or eating non-veg.
Hmm.
Or so my dad was a driver. So today I realize why she used to do. But
Hmm.
when I was a kid, it was for me. I am being deprived of.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I now I understand. He in a driver's salary, how much can she give you?
Correct. Correct.
So,
Especially because you had
she
elder
has to
siblings
take care.
also.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
we have elder siblings, and she had to do the savings. Today I know that, but that
Hmm.
the young Sheena or the girl
Child,
Sheena, she
yes.
didn't knew all the she didn't knew
Hmm.
what it is. For me, it was I've been deprived. So she whenever she used to make fish or anything, only my dad and my brother used to get. I was deprived. My sister was never a person who loved non-veg,
Hmm.
so she never had it.
Hmm.
So the fruits, if my dad brings in, she used to feel it's very expensive. I cannot just give it to him. So she used to keep it only when the guest is coming.
Hmm.
So we used to get, I mean, we used to get the chilkas of, what do you call it, the peels of the apple. You can't eat till the guests have eaten and
They
then
have
later
left.
eat.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
I don't think my child has ever known any of these things.
Wow.
Maybe it is our mindset because we have grown up being deprived.
Hmm.
And I had one single agenda in my life, even before getting married, is I want to be a good mother.
Wow.
That would, and I have done anything and everything to ensure as a child, what I suffered, my kids are not supposed to suffer. So I used to go a little extra mile,
Hmm.
even if it is not in my budget. I used to make my kids happy.
Wow.
And that's the reason I've never saved anything.
Hmm.
I've only given. So I've taken care of my full family. I was the only breadwinner of the house. I used to take care of my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my kids. And I always enjoyed giving. So that's why I said I used to be a financially independent individual.
Hmm.
Giving is in my DNA, so I can never take from anybody.
Wow. And I'm very happy that we had this sort of deep conversation. This is something I think could have never come across as a script. This is just you and me talking about certain things as it happened, which is absolutely brilliant. And I learned a lot of things about you, about your personal journey. In fact, we'll take a break, and in the next part of this, what we're going to look at is your journey into corporate. How did you get, rising onto those ranks of, being altogether a co-founder and now even a founder and CEO. How did that happen? What is the vision for the future? And have you found the purpose of life? And if yes, how can someone who's looking into leading life with purpose, what can we learn from you? Those are the things we're going to talk, but maybe after a break. But thank you, Sheena, so much for talking to us about all these things. Much appreciated.
So, look forward.